Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Lionel, and I'm your host for LT Productions. You are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. This is season 13, episode 8. I do appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like this video and also subscribe. Share this video also, and leave your comments below. I'm going to try to do this video 15 minutes or less. Can you help me out with that? I know you can't help me out with that. I'm going to do my best to do that. We're going to run through this as much as possible and cover as much in this episode. So we begin with Kyle and Mauricio. They kind of talk about the dinner that happened the other night, things that were brought up, the rumors. And Mal is pissed that some of the ladies aren't handling it more delicately because now it causes more rumors. They talk about nothing on camera about the marriage, so we're like, okay. That's all I can say about that scene. Then you can see that they're kind of discombobulated at this moment, and I don't know what they need. Anyways, we move on to Sutton. Sutton is at her store with Avi and an assistant and a lady from Cobalt Events. She's planning an event, like a 4th year anniversary of her store, with the store not also branching off into something else. So she's really giving herself a pat on the back that she was able to do something without taking anyone's money. Then the producer asked, have you used any of this money from your spouse, the spousal support? She said, well, yeah. Technically, it is hers. It's awarded to her, and it's supposed to be hers. But, of course, many would say, okay, well, no, you're not really doing it on your own. Whatever y'all think, let me know in the comments. Is she doing it on her own? I don't know. It could be. You can look at it either way. Crystal calls, and they speak for a few minutes. Are you nervous about tonight? And also, are you inviting Kyle? She said, yeah, I just don't know how things are because of those drinking allegations. Those can be dangerous and all that. And Crystal makes it clear that Dorit was talking about it too. So she knows that Sutton knows she has to talk to them eventually about this. Kyle, she invites over a therapist life coach. Is he a life coach or therapist? Those are two different things. So I don't know why they made that title like that. I have a feeling it's a life coach situation, even though they're talking about personal things. Sheree had a life coach on Atlanta on season 10, and they talk about difficult things. So we get right into it because they wanted to just talk about how Kyle kind of leads her life where she can get obsessive and anxious. And she talks about current things that are bothering her life. Her family fall out with Kathy. She really hates when that happens because it always looks like she's the villain and she loses out on everything. Everyone's really critical on her. When Mauricio launched the agency, when she wrote her book, the movie that she had concerning her mom, and the store that she opened up, everything's so negative, and somehow it drives a wedge with the family. And of course, she's also feeling the pressure with your family. You got to work it out. And I'm glad Jamie said this. Well, if it's unhealthy and toxic, there's no point in continuously going through this. And I agree all the way in regards to that. She also speaks about her best friend who unalived herself on May 1st. That's been very difficult. She's been somebody that she would actually go to if things are going on with her family and all that, and she's losing that type of support. And her marriage is not really all together. I should be able to lean on him, but it's not really happening the way that she's used to it. So it looks like she is trying to gain control, like Jen Tilly was trying to say. I'll just say I feel for Kyle in this moment. I have not liked Kyle. I still don't like her, but I'm going to feel her in this moment and her dealing with all these traumas. I can't be mean right now. Jamie says, give yourself credit, give yourself a pat on the back on the things that you're accomplishing. You're growing and shifting, and you're just going to irritate some people. Oh, well. And I will concur with him. F these people. Basically, if you are growing and shifting into a new and different person that works for you, do it. All right, so we move on to Garcelle. She goes out to dinner with Jade and his girlfriend, Ashlyn. Garcelle likes her because she speaks her mind and she's a little sassy. She just doesn't want to have any grandchildren anytime soon. She says that she's less worried about Jax. He's more independent. This one, she is a little bit more connected to. He's more of a mama's boy. And I think she's more attached. And she knows she's going to have to let go, but she's a little bit nervous about that. Anne Marie, we get a little bit more insight into what's going on in their lives. Of course, she's married to Marcellus, who's a former football player, retired, have 4 children. So there is a daughter, Maraca, who's 24 years old. I don't know if that's Marcellus' child or Anne Marie's child. Marcellus Jr., I call him MJ, he's 7. Araya is 4, and Olivia is 3. And you see her trying to just like manage everything with the children because she's got like not adolescent, but out of the diapers age, and you're trying to go through all the demands that all the children want, make sure that they want eating the same thing that they're supposed to. So they've been married for 9 years, got married in 2014. The day that he met her, he said to her that you're going to be his wife. Or she was going to be, yeah, that you're going to be my wife. So my dad also said that to my mom, but they ended up divorcing. That's another video. And Marcellus kind of judged everything with Anne Marie. She's at 8.5 and everything looks all that good stuff. So she's satisfied with that. We do learn with Erica that she has a vacancy residency. She's been contracted to do 20 shows. That's interesting. I'm glad that people actually want her. And she's relieved of that. Later on in the episode, she calls her mom, or she does call her then, and tells her about that. And now her mom thinks she's a part of the show and making sure things get right, with the show. It's interesting to see Erica just display something else. I still hope this is genuine because, look, Erica's manipulative and she's been trained by the best. Sutton. So pre-Sutton, everyone's getting ready. Sutton comes in and she's trying to do certain things, and Avi's trying to say, no, don't do that. And she said, could you please not tell me what to do? Don't be my boss. I know a lot of people just don't like Sutton and how she talks. I think because I've been around some affluent people, and when you are workers, there is a certain talk. Y'all didn't like Caroline from Dubai and how she talked to people within her home. There's just a lingo and a comfortability and a sternness that you do get even with your workers that a lot of people just won't be able to click with. Anyway, so Kyle calls Morgan Wade and was saying, she's bringing Kim. And then she's got this new jewelry on and don't know how Sutton's going to be. But she starts talking about the night you're really sharing stuff that you would like share with Dorit, with this Morgan girl. And I don't know how long y'all have even been around each other. That hasn't been discussed yet. So it looks like it's almost like this girl is replacing your best friend, but in different ways. So everyone shows up. Dorit says that Sutton gave her a heads up ahead of time that there's going to be 80 people so she can prepare herself and her mentality for it. I just feel like, why don't you just prepare for that all the time? Just in case. I think it'll be okay. In my opinion. I don't know how anxiety goes, but come on. I don't know. Just a thought. Kyle shows up with Kim. Sutton realizes, I see Kyle's got a point to prove. And she already basically said that. She shows up with Kim just to say that this sister is actually in my life. She's like, I know what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. So everyone's there. Sutton makes a speech, and people don't understand what she's talking about. She couldn't land the plane on some things, but whatever. So after that, then she just has everyone have fun. And then she's around Kyle and Kim, and she says, I'm going to make my first drink, Mom. Meaning it was referring to Kyle. Kim thought, was she talking to me because I'm an addict? Like, no, it's about me. So they finally talk about, the whole drinking thing. She's like, I wasn't really saying that you had a drinking problem. I just didn't know if you were mixing your pills with the drink. Kyle, you know what you do. You're passive aggressive, just like Sutton. So stop it. We know you. They just start apologizing for the different things that they were saying to each other. Garcelle and Crystal and Erica are sitting together. They talk about Denise a little bit, and Erica did think it was weird. She was also high too, so she was like, I cared, but I just don't really care. And that's why I didn't put the same effort in that I would have, especially being high. Then Kyle, while they're still trying to get through their issues or things that they said to each other, like, I just didn't understand why you guys went after my ring, blah, 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 blah. And so Sutton said, I didn't say that. Who said it? Garcelle. So were you mentioning that to her? No. It's something that she came up with. So she called over Garcelle and said, Sutton said that you're the one that was talking about the ring being a gift. And she said, yeah, I said it. It was a suggestion as to possibly what's going on. We don't know what's going on. So from there, let's see. Then they get a little bit more on the drinking stuff again. Somehow Dorit comes around. And because Dorit starts saying, well, you were saying all this stuff about marriage and all that. And then Sutton flips the table and says, well, actually, a lot of people in this group have been saying different things about my marriage and all that. And about my drinking. So who said that? Crystal said that you were saying that. Oh, then she goes to Crystal, and Crystal says, this is what's up. Kyle and Dorit were talking about the drinking stuff. Dorit's trying to explain why she came up to the conclusion of Dorit doing all this stuff, which doesn't make sense, but whatever. And everybody's like bored, and Crystal says, I'm bored. Then all of a sudden, Anne Marie starts talking to her about Sutton, about her narrow esophagus, and Sutton's really like, why are you talking about it? You got this medicine and you're drinking. I do have that, but I don't mix them together. I actually take it at night. And she said her doctor said that she could actually have that with alcohol. And she's like, no, you're not supposed to do that. And then Anne Marie's asking all these questions about this esophagus. She said, if you had a narrow esophagus, that's not a diagnosis. It's just a symptom if you're not able to digest your food or whatever. And you're like, are you my doctor? Do you need to see my medical card? Like, what is all this mess going on? She says, basically, Sutton says, it all works for me, whatever's going on. My brother stretches out his esophagus. I chose not to do this. So obviously there's some type of disorder that's happening down in the bloodline. So leave it alone. So Sutton just takes this moment as a tribute to herself, just to say, I'm really doing it on my own. My husband's going to be moving to England pretty soon, and it's interesting for this new thrust of life. Kyle closed down her clothing store, but she commends Sutton for able to keep it going after the pandemic. And Erica gives her words of encouragement. That was the end of the episode. So tell me what you think. Even why Anne Marie was just trying to get in there with her medical expertise. It's like, you don't know what's going on. Crystal did say that Sutton does have this thing about digesting where she's like choking. It happened when they went to Spain or something last year. So she knows when someone is eating. This is in the after show if you want to look at that. I was like, okay, well, there's two things that can confirm that Sutton does really have a disorder. That's all I do have. Again, I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next video, peace.